Come on, get filled, get filled. No. No. Did I miss it? That was not the rotation I wanted. So the reason why I pulled this out, I pulled this out because when you get a bounce like this and it comes right back down to test it, I don't want it to take my price anymore, because if it comes back down to test this area after that rotation, after that bounce, there's a high probability that it's just going to continue coming lower. I don't want that. I want it to pick up my bid and then go, or pick up my bid, go, retest a little bit, maybe a little bit sweat me out, and then go again. But I don't necessarily like this whole bounce and then go. Let's see if I was right to pull out my bid. We'll see. Hey, this could actually just shoot up from here. We're going to create a rotation now, in the sense that we're going to create a very small zone, and then this zone is where we'll break out. Yep, because you see you had this zone over here. A bit of rotation happened over here, a bit of two-way trading, and now we'll break out. Now, whether we break out and then come back down, that's totally possible. Actually, I do like this. I do like this. I know exactly where I'm wrong. We go above 85, so I am totally wrong here. I think sellers will defend this right here. I think you got a lot of buyers. Sorry, I think you got a lot of sellers over here. No, sorry, I think you got a lot of buyers over here that are going to want to get out of their trades. I should have added more. Yep. Now I want to see this break these lows over here. If we break this rotation, it's just going to capitulate all the way down to, at the very least, this old point of control, 450. And then the next target would be the lows. Break it, break it. I'm just going to take one off. I don't like this two-way. I normally want to see this come right down, take out all these guys on the halfway point, come down, and then continue lower. I don't like this two ways. But that's not to say that we can't continue further. I just don't like it. Yeah. It's okay. Do I want to re-hit this? I don't know. I don't necessarily like the amount of volume that we've traded down here. It's not enough for me to tell me that there's a lot of interest to go lower. It seems pretty even. It's even to me because, like you have about 150 contracts, 120 contracts on each of these prices. You have about this, maybe less here. It's quite murky. Now, is this absorption or what? What's ES doing? Oh, yes is at lows today. Wow, Nasdaq is leading. Or is yes leading? We don't know who's leading, but what we do know is that Nasdaq is slightly stronger today. Or could Nasdaq just be weaker overall? Hmm. I would love to see a squeeze up to T+2. I'd love to buy Nasdaq right here, right now, but I'm just worried about the ES. I'm gonna keep this here just in case, just to see what's going on. I don't need to. I just want to know where the price is, so I'm just gonna keep a very small window. Yeah, you see, it's very clear that we've established this little rectangle, this little box, right? This shows rotation. Um, once I create this box, let's just say once I recognize a rotation, um, or consolidation, or whatever you want to call it. Once you recognize, once your eyes see, or once your eyes get to see this type of range, let's say, I don't typically I create my box and I don't change it afterwards. I just extend it because I don't want to play around with these settings too much. I don't want to play around with the box. For me, this is good information already enough, right? So like if I have a box like this, it's good information to know that we tried to break out and came back in. Whereas if I keep extending it to every single high and low, then I don't know what market's trying to do, right? It's harder for me to gauge because for me, we could still be technically in this range and nothing has changed. But no, it's very important information because you have these guys that are trying to break out of this range but couldn't, and now they're trapped, and now look what's happening. See, those guys got trapped. They started getting out of the trades, and now as they try to break this range, they might start puking more of their trade. You see? So it's good information to know. Now, if we come and we break 66 with speed, I'm buying. Why am I buying? Because the seller's trapped up here, sellers trapped all around here. And then especially the sellers that are down here. I could buy this. Sorry, I could sell this right here. I could sell at market and put my stop above 66. You can put your stop either above 66 or you can put above 79 depending on your risk. So we have this aggressive imbalance that happened. These are stacked imbalances. We shoot over these stacked imbalances. I really do think we're making highs. You know, Just fill me, fill me. All right, let's go. We make lows, I'm out. Oh no. Can we make lower lows? Can we make lower lows off of this? Just be patient. My risk is short. Is this enough? Is this enough to make lower lows off of this? Or are we just going to fake out and go all the way back up? Because it's a very typical Nasdaq thing to do. It's a very, very typical Nasdaq thing to do. We come down, we create a low of the day, and we retest the high almost instantly, and then we try to retest that low again. It's a very typical Nasdaq thing to do. So I want to see us break out of this box. I like my position. I think maybe I could have gone a little bit lower, but I know that my risk is below these lows. If we go down, if we retest this right now, there's just no, it's just not a good trade. 10 points, I'm okay with that risk. Looks like I'm gonna get stopped out here. Yeah. I might get in if I see us come back up here though. See, ES is breaking lows. Nasdaq wants to follow suit. It's just very bearish for markets right now. Still early in the morning though. I mean, this is only 30 minutes past the open, but it's very clear to see what markets want to do today. We have a sort of a triple bottom that wants to be tested on the hourly. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. Yep. So this is the hour. I really do need to change this. This is a really ugly chart. This keeps happening on the way out. See this little triple bottom? Or sort of. Right, it looks like we want to break this. Mm-hmm. No, what is this? Yeah, we start breaking these levels, we can capitulate quite easily, maybe down to 13,200 actually. Yeah, this is an untested point of control. Mm-hmm. So if you're of the belief that this is just one big squeeze on Nasdaq and we're going to continue higher, then this is where you want to buy. Okay, now do I want to buy this outright? No. No, because if this is the actual low of the day, what I want to see happen is I want to see us make at least an attempt. I wanted to see it come off a little bit, maybe down to 40s, like a very slight pullback, and then I want to buy it. You want to try to catch the low of the day, you're going to get burned many, many times. You might get a great fill, you might get a great price, but you will get burned many, many times. And your risk will be very tight though, but you're going to have a lot of losers. And that's fine if that's how you want to trade. So I want to see us build volume right here, and I want to see us shoot up, which is exactly what we're doing. Just want to show you, I'm going to move this a little bit, right? This little volume area. Oh, I love getting filled. I don't like getting filled partially though. So I love seeing this. I did not get filled fully. That's a bummer. That is an absolute bummer. Might take some off here actually. We can get a slight bounce here, or maybe not. If we tend to shoot up, then I'm getting out at 80s. Are we? Is this losing steam? There's some liquidity here at 73. It depends what we want to do with this liquidity. Are we going to push for it? It seems like we want it. We really do want it. Grab it. Oh, I don't like it. No, 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 no. Get it, get it. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. You have a lot of trap buyers here selling. A lot of trap buyers are selling. But I do like this. I love seeing this right here. I love seeing a breakout, a P shape, and another breakout, another P shape. Do I want to take some off? Let's take one off. Now, I want you guys to notice exactly what I just did there and why I did that and what it means for market participants. Now, I know I took one off, and that's really insignificant with regards to the total volume because I'm a very, very, very small player. But if you want to think about larger players and what they try to do and how they're thinking, is that when they see the market go up like this, okay, you have some people who are buyers, right? You got buyers that are up here who are taking profit over here, but and some people are not taking profit. Like I did not take my profit up here. I was waiting for this price to take my profit at. But you see that as the market comes down, what do people like me tend to do, right? What do people tend to do? Always think, what are people looking to do? As you see the market comes off and you see that these buyers aren't getting their fill in the sense that these buyers are not getting what they want to see right away, they take some off. They might take all of it off. They might take some off. Some of them might not even take anything at all. And it's very, very important to understand, right? So the same thing that I did over here at 55s or at 60s, other people are doing the same, right? They have a trailing stop. And when you have a trailing stop, it just takes you out of market. And so you see this little sell off that comes off, that rotation that comes off. And so it's very, very important to know that. This to me is true order flow, not that buzzword, not that hype that people talk about when they're reading the price ladder and they're reading the bids getting hit, and oh my god, there's a lot of absorption, or like those things are very, very difficult to see on a price ladder. You like your eyes cannot see that fast on a price ladder. What your eyes can see is rotations, patterns, right? Your eyes can see that we're struggling to get past 65, right? And when we get past 65, we go to 80, let's say for example, we rotate back down to 65. Your eyes and your brain tells you that we had struggle at 65. What are we going to do there? If we break 65s and we continue going lower, that's order flow. That's what your eyes can see. That's what your brain can process. But your brain cannot process these little ones and twos on the order book. Your brain's not going to know what to do with this 150 if it gets taken out, or how much of it got taken out. You don't know. This could all be a fake number. You reach this number, maybe only 20 of it gets filled. You don't know any of that, right? That's why you use the footprint, you use the ladder, you get the rotations going, you get a footprint chart if you need to, you use a point and figure. So this structure is great right now. Right now we know where the line in the sand is, right? It's here. This little these 52s. We built some volume at this 52. We broke out of that 52, and now we're trading in this range. Now there's a high probability that we create volume and we just break out of this. I want to take some off. I want to wait for a dip down to 52s, and I want to add on. I don't like adding on to trades because it brings my average price up and it just messes me up psychologically. I'm not there yet. Um, so that's why I took some off. I'd rather take some um, profit now. Wow, I cannot believe I didn't get filled there. What was the low of this candle? Wow, I was a tick off. I was one tick off. All right, well, that's it. I have to pull that trade out. I don't want it coming back down. Because that to me was the trade. That to me was the idea that we would come down, test 52s, and then shoot straight up. Oh, I was really nitpicky with the price there. Do we chase? Typically, normally I don't chase, but when I see that there's potential for another 30 points, and if my risk at this point is 15 points, it's a 2-to-1. Although I really would have loved to get fill at 52. I don't know. Fuck me. I want to do it. We'll go with half size. It's a good area over here. My risk is 10 points at this. Well, it's about 13, 14 points. But this could have been a fake, though. This could have been a fake out. Although I did like the structure here, though, in a way where we kind of built some profile, some volume up here. Maybe not enough. Maybe not as much as I wanted to build. So where it gets dangerous is once we retest 52s again, because we bounced off of it once. Actually, we bounced off of it twice. We broke it, we came down, bounced off of it on low volume, right? Which means that there wasn't interest. Came back down, there was still no interest. And then the third time we want to see if there's interest or not to trade. And what I mean by interest is this low volume right here. This is low volume around here. Yes, there was high volume here, but once we came back to it a second time, like look at the change. Why do we go from high volume to low volume, right? So going long here it's a good call. It's a good call to go long. Now you want to know what happens the second time around. Are we going to break through it? Are we going to build volume? Are we going to go off on no volume? And that's order flow. That's understanding what happened previously, what happened to the left, right? Look left, always look left. Prices here, always look left. That's just basic BS rotation. There was 77 contracts absorbed by buyers. So this is technically a down bar, or it's a down rotation. I don't want to say it's significant volume, but you have this up bar right here, and then this is a down bar. This is a rotation that goes down, and then look at the delta, right? It's a very low. It's still a red delta. It's a negative delta, but it's about like 2% on somewhat insignificant volume. That's absorption on a rotation. This is limit buyers. These are limit buyers that are putting their limit orders. And then here you have limit buyers putting their limit orders higher. This is one price. This is another price. This is another price. So this is what you want to see, but typically you want to see this at a higher volume. You want to see more volume. You want to see like a higher delta. But this is what you want to see if you want to see price go higher. You want to see buyers pulling up their limit orders higher and higher and higher. Chasing is not necessarily good because chasing means you can get caught with your pants down. This is just limit buying, right? This is calculated buying. I would have liked to add, but this is not the most confident of trades right now. I could add at the break though. A lot of things going on here. I mean, you have the value area high that's acting as a resistance. But you also have the S&P that's breaking out of that range, that zone. So this does seem to me like a low, right? Um, Also, very important to note if I want to draw a fib. I know a lot of people like to hate on fibs, but I love fibs. Just look at the retracement of this move. We created a full retracement. Sorry, we had this full move down, and then we retraced more than 60%. We're probably at 90% right now. You tell me, why do you want to short here once you retrace 100%? A double top? No, no. I buy at double tops. This is a nice breakout. I like breakouts like this. I want to see my favorite types of breakouts are when you have a bit of volume, no volume because all the stops get taken out, and then you create more volume. And then that's usually a push higher. This was kind of similar. You see they had this volume, a little bit of volume, and then now you're going to create this zone where you're going to create this volume, this zone or this, whatever you want to call it. So what you can do is once you see this P shape, you can add to your trade here. You can enter a new trade here at 90, 91, right? If you want, you can put your stop at 85. Or because I don't like the structure in the sense that it looks like a very long P, you can add here at 84. You can add 84 with the expectation that it could curl down below 70, 74. But you have volume here. You have significant volume here that at least a retest is on the cards. I don't think I don't personally think that we're going to get a straight rejection and come all the way down. Um, could I be wrong? Absolutely. I don't want to see us go below 60, 65. But I'm adding to my trade because I do feel that we have a lot of trapped shorts taking profit, right? Guys who are short here, guys who are short here, guys who are definitely short here, guys who have been short this whole time, guys who are short down here, right? I do think that we can squeeze. And we wanted to test these lows and we haven't turned back since. You know, you had one attempt up. We shook out all the buyers here. Now we're getting another attempt higher. I do think we can break. I do think that we can break. Yeah, you have a lot of shorts here. You have a lot of trap shorts throughout the week. Um, and Nasdaq is the squeeze master. Very shitty trend line, but a trend line nonetheless. I mean, I don't want to be nitpicky on it. I could if I want to. If I'm being nitpicky, we already broke this trend line, right? But let's try to do it this way to try to cheat a little bit, right? Forget the wick. You could use the wick if you wanted to. Are we gonna break this major trend line? We probably have already. Well, it was a fake out if you think about it, right? Right, Nasdaq is so whippy though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost impossible to be accurate with Nasdaq. Just don't try. Don't try to be accurate with Nasdaq. Okay. This looks like a failure, or is it? We have the POC here that can act as a support. Why I think it can act as a support is because you broke this POC and you have people who are short here that are probably waiting for their price to come get touched so that they can exit their trades at scratch or at a small loss or at a small profit. Um, a lot of these things are on my mind because sellers have felt that they've been in control all day up until this point now, right? Up until we broke the POC and now we made highs and now we're attempting to make highs, coming back, right? Sellers have felt that they're in control and now this is the time right here where sellers realize, okay, we might not have full control. How do we get out of our trades? And now buyers are in the driver's seat. It's up to buyers to push this price higher. And when I mean by buyers, I also mean by sellers, right? I mean by sellers who are looking to buy to get out. It's in their hands right now. So the trapped shorts, the new buyers. You had late buyers show up here. You had new shorts show up here. This negative delta, this aggressive selling. I think if we retest this, we're definitely shooting. But also notice that, I mean, this is 13,500. This is a significant level. So, like I said, what I love to see when we're trying to make higher highs and when we're trying to break key levels, okay, it's very important. We break out, we have this line in the sand, and then we start to develop a volume. And we don't go below this line in the sand. We might trickle, come back up, trickle, come back up, trickle, come back up, and then we break out. That's totally possible. But the best kind of breakouts are this P shape right here. Everything else is murky. Everything else you need to take with a grain of salt. The trade might still work out, but it's not the best setup. Right? So you go in low size, you don't put in everything, and you play it carefully. So what do I think is going on right now? I think this is still fine. This is still fine because we're not capitulating, right? This is all a normal part of the rotation. Um, if we go below the 52s and we start capitulating, then we're in trouble. Um, and in hindsight, I should not have added to that trade because I didn't wait until this P fully formed, or at least when I started seeing this form, I should have taken at least half off, right, and then waited for a dip and bought. So in hindsight, I think maybe that was my mistake. But this is all normal. This is all normal because right now what's happening, everybody stuck here is using this dip, is using this opportunity to buy because they're stuck short, right? You're stuck short, you want price to go down. And if price goes above your entry price, you want to get out, right? Now you might hold until the break. Your stops could be up here, and that's when you get a breakout. Or if you see that the opportunity comes for you where you can get out of your trade at scratch, what are you going to do? A few things you're going to do, right? You're either going to think, well, I'm not out of the woods. I think my trade still works, whatever. I'm stubborn. I want to see this go all the way down. Or you can be like, you know what? I don't like this. I was sweating for too long. I want to get out of my trade. So they can start buying here to get out of their shorts, right? Which in turn pushes their price up. And once this pushes price up, we retest this high. And then the guys who thought that, you know what, I'm just going to wait to see if price goes down, when they start to see that this gets retested, they're starting to sweat. Some of them are going to get out, create more buying pressure, create more buying pressure, create more buying pressure. Guys who are down here, who never got their fill over here, right? Who never got to scratch over here, they're going to want to get the heck out. Everybody's going to want to get out. That's one scenario. Another scenario is that these guys are not even sweating. There might be a bigger player here that's pushing the price down, that's taking up all these buy orders and that wants to push price down. Because think about buyers over here as well. I have seen scenarios, I've seen so many different scenarios in Nasdaq where we can just shake out all sides, all day before we actually make our true intention. I don't want to hold this for too long. Funny enough, value area low 52 is the 52 that we have in this rotation. So I really want to see what we do here. I can extend this box. This is a fake out. This is, yeah, this is starting to look like a fake out. Broke out of that rotation, but we built volume though. That's what you want to see. You built volume, but that volume was not enough to push it higher. There's absorption at these levels. There was also absorption at these levels. Now, don't be fooled by this rally. This is a squeeze of a rally right here. Because look at the volume. There's no strength behind this move. This is just somebody pulling out their orders, right? Someone who's not providing any liquidity, right? They're pulling out, all these sellers are pulling out their orders, and this is just a big squeeze. How do I know? Because look at this. 40 contracts, 20 contracts. I mean, you're telling me that on the way down here we had what? We had 3,000 contracts being traded, right? All of this, we had this volume, right? Yeah, 260, 300, 480, 460, 340. That right there, that's about maybe 2K. You have 800. Yeah, this is almost 2K contracts right here. And where's this level of enthusiasm here? There isn't any, you know? Now I like seeing this. I do like seeing this. I like seeing volume be built, right? I want to see a sort of um, just that cliff being established, right? I want to see some meat be established to this move. Because if we go up on low volume, then you don't know when liquidity is going to be provided, right? We go up on such low volume. Let's just say that there's liquidity up here, right? There's a lot of liquidity up here. And we're going up on very low volume, right? And if we continue to go up on very low volume, what do you think happens once we reach liquidity? There's not enough strength in this move to tell me that we can actually grab all of this liquidity and push. But we go on low volume and we start to form a basis by grabbing that liquidity, then that's a good squeeze. That's a squeeze that has legs to it. And look what's happening. I like this. I like to see liquidity being taken. And despite the liquidity being taken, we're looking for more liquidity. See what happened here? We came down, we found liquidity, and we weren't able to go further. We were looking for liquidity, but we just weren't able to find it, or we just didn't want that liquidity. So we curled back up. We curled back up, and then these guys, they needed liquidity to get out of their trades. These guys need liquidity to get out of their trades. These guys need liquidity to get out of their trades. You know, the beauty about order flow is your opinion can change 100 times in one day. Swing trading, your opinion should not change. Swing trading, you take your trade and that's it because you're thinking long term. When you're day trading and when you're day trading order flow, your opinion can change 100 times because look at the dynamics of this. Look at all the things that could happen. I would not have predicted that we'd find liquidity down here. No, how could I know? There you go. There you go. This has legs to it. This has volume built. Come down, you build the volume. You break out on low volume, you build that volume, and now you want to go push higher. This has legs to it. Now you want to see if buyers can sustain this push higher. It's clear what they want to do, but can they do it? And that's the question. Sellers here are clearly worried. Are we going to take out their stops? Are we going to punish them? Again, you want to see build volume. This is not nice to see. You don't want to see volume and then no volume. You want to see volume, push, volume, push. Those are the good breakouts. This is also good. You come back down, there's no interest to trade lower. You curl back up, you want to see if there's more interest to trade, you go. That's it. That's it. Now you have this big trend line over here. It's a half-ass trend line, but it's a trend line nonetheless. I don't want, see, now this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Right? Go up, build volume, go higher. What we tried to do here didn't work. We broke out, we built some volume, and then we curled back down. Volume on the way down, some rotations, some more volume. You see, this didn't work. That was not a strong breakout. This is a strong breakout. And you're creating imbalances on the way up. That's a very strong breakout. We created imbalances here as well. So this was still a good, it was still a good setup, but this is one of those setups that didn't work. But just look at the difference between this breakout and this breakout. Just look at that, 5,384 contracts, 5,197 contracts, right? But look which rotation is bigger. You know? Now, if you want to add to this breakout, you can add around here. You can add around here. You don't want this to come back down. You just simply don't want this to come back down to 480. You don't want it to. This can come back down to 500 and push back. This can come back down to maybe 490, 495 and push back up. Yes, it's possible. Now, important to see what ES is doing as well. ES still hasn't made new highs, right? So it's very possible that this could be a big fake out on Nasdaq. ES can touch its highs and come right back down and then trap everybody in Nasdaq, right? But we know from today morning that Nasdaq has been the stronger one out of the two. This past week, it's all been about ES, right? Nasdaq has been weaker than ES, but today, Nasdaq is stronger. And the thing is that I don't care why one's stronger than the other, right? I know a lot of traders look at stocks. I know a lot of traders look at Apple. They look at Facebook. They look at Netflix, right? And they say it's very important to know what those stocks are doing. I don't care. I don't care because I can't fixate on 100 different things. I can only focus on one market, two markets, maybe three markets at the most, and then I can just analyze based on what I know. I don't give a shit why Nasdaq's stronger than ES today. All I know is that Nasdaq is stronger than ES, and I know how to trade based on that. I might want to add one or two contracts here. I know I said you can't be accurate on the price, and sometimes I do nitpick on the price. I just don't want this to come back down. That's my biggest worry right now. Because if this comes down, it's a pain in the ass. We did all this work for nothing. And the fucked up part is that it could actually very well do it. It can come back down, build volume, go higher. Like those are the worst kind of breakouts. Because those are the breakouts where nobody makes money. Right? Because I could take some off here, and then it can go higher, and then I look like a fool. That's part of the game. Fuck me, I might actually just do that. Although I like the structure, I need to trust the structure. Come on. Come on, Nasdaq. Pick up. I think we're gonna make a low. Well, a low of the rotation. 55 contracts is enough for me to think, yep, there's more selling coming here. But we're absorbing that selling though, and we're matching with a bit of buying. You see that the 55, it was at negative 55, and then we just added like 180, 190 contracts to it, and we barely went lower. That's a good sign. But it's also something that we don't know will continue. See, there you go, right? Yeah, you saw that absorption, but you don't know if there's more selling behind that. And you don't know if the absorption is enough to pick it up. You can only know what's happening right now. You can make some guesses what's going to happen in the next 5, 10 seconds, right? But you saw this, right? And when you see this and then you see price move away from it by 5 points, 6 points, 7 points, then it's a good sign. But when you see the absorption and price still hovers 1, 2, 3 points above it, that's not enough to tell me that this absorption is done. And it's still not enough to tell me that this absorption is done. But I'd rather see it move away by 10 points than see it move away by just 2 points. So now we're hovering above the IB high. We're above it. We're hovering above the high of the day. ES is building volume above its value area. Let's go. Did we trap sellers here? Did we trap the sellers here? Well, we've already trapped the sellers down here. We've already trapped a lot of these sellers down here. Now, the more time and volume that we spend up here, the better it is for our trade because it's the more time that these guys have to worry. These guys have more time to worry that their price is never going to get filled. They're never going to get hit, right? We're not going to come back down for them to scratch their trade. We're not going to come back down for them to take a smaller loss. And then buyers who are waiting here are not going to be able to get in. They're going to have to chase. The sellers are going to have to chase to get their prices to get out, right? So this is just good for our trade. Let's effing go, Nasdaq. Don't fuck me here. Don't don't fuck me here, Nasdaq. Don't fuck me here, Nasdaq. I'll take one off here just in case. Let's go. Come on, Nasdaq. I know you want to do it. I know you want to do it. I know you want to squeeze everybody out. Let me jump on this train with you. Oh, actually, I just passed my Leeloo. Technically, if I close my positions now, I've passed my Leeloo. My 2 accounts. LFG, boys. LFG. LFG. Let's go. Where can we go with this? To the moon? Yeah, but I don't want to get greedy. 530 seems to be... ¿Qué pasó? Did I get out of this? No, I didn't. Oh, because that was a sell stop order. Okay. Might be liquidity over here. This was a significant price. This we could get a bounce off of here actually. Let me get out of these trades. We can get a slight bounce here. I don't know how much further I want to go. See, 535 was the value area high of yesterday. How much further can we go? It depends on the squeeze, guys. It really depends on the squeeze. The amount of volume that we built here. We have sellers over here. We have sellers over here. This could squeeze hard. Hard. This could definitely squeeze. I don't want to get greedy. We could retest this imbalance up here at 560. I think we spent so much time and volume over here that this cannot be a fake out. Well, it cannot. It shouldn't be a fake out. It just shouldn't. If it is, then I don't know, guys. Just pray. Oh no, hold on. Where's this? This could very much well 17 could be the price. Yeah, I told you that there could have been a bounce up here, and there was. If we retest this, then we're definitely gonna go higher. I just don't want to see this do a quick V reversal, although I don't think we will do a V reversal. Because we just have so much volume here. There's just so many legs up to this move that it's going to be very hard to do a V reversal right away. Right? A V reversal is when we go like this. Right? There's just so much in the way for it to actually happen, a smooth V reversal, unless there's something major that comes out that catches everybody with their pants down. Yes. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get filled. Don't hit my trailing stop. Don't hit my trailing stop. It's because if this hits my trailing stop, it hits everybody else's trailing stop. It creates a chain reaction. It's just not good. It creates a chain reaction, and we don't want to see that. We want to see nobody get hit. We want to see people hold. We want to see sellers panic and buy to get out. This is gonna get hit, mother fricker. Whatever. This could very well bounce right here, actually. I sometimes get the worst trailing stops. My trailing stops are like... Price always bounces from my trailing stop. Price comes down and then fucking bounces, hits me off. Something I need to work on, though. But we'll see. So as I was saying, when you have all of this volume, let's just say this zone right here, right? Let's just create it here. This is the zone, okay? This is the zone of all the volume. Oh my god, I have been drawing this whole time, and you guys have not been able to see my drawings. Wow. No. Why? Well, that's a fucking pain. Oh my god, you guys can't see this. No. Wow, I've been talking for nothing. I've been drawing for nothing too. That is annoying. Wow, I'm sorry. That is annoying. I've been drawing this whole time on my screen and it hasn't even been showing. it's so annoying. That's where it was. What's going on here? Fucking hell. Let me test something here. Circle this. Okay, perfect. That's fine. Well, that's a shame. But at least the analysis was there. I really wish I could have drawn. But anyway, as I was saying, it's really difficult to get a V reversal from here for the markets to go like this, unless you have major news that comes out and that catches everybody with their pants down. And the reason why is because, let's say you have all of this volume, all of this structure down here. All right, I'm going to draw it here. You have all of that structure that you see to your left. You have it all here. All right. And when you have all this volume, all of this time spent in the structure, you break out of the structure, you have a bit of volume. You break out of the structure, you have a bit of volume. It's very rare you see this. It's very rare. And if it does happen, you have to get short. You go short. It's like you go short with everything that you have. How do I undo? Yeah. Go short with absolutely everything that you have. Because what would happen right now, you'll get this. The guys who are stuck short here are going to start buying. So you get like this, a little bit of up, comes down, a little bit of up, comes down. These guys are still waiting to get out of their trades. So you can get up like this, goes back down like this, right? But how much liquidity is there though, right? How much selling liquidity is there for these guys, these short? So these guys are short right now. They need to buy, right? They need to buy, which means they're looking for sell side liquidity. How much sell side liquidity do you think there is on the way down that can continue this? That can continue that can actually satisfy the needs of all of these traders, right? And that's what you need to understand. How much liquidity is there, right? So you could very well have this scenario where it just curls down slowly, 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 right? Let me draw this better. So what would end up happening is, yes, these guys, they take a little bit of, they buy a little bit, they buy a little bit, goes back down. But eventually, there's going to be too much buying for the amount of liquidity that's being provided on the way down. This is a price ladder. There's too much buying that's going on. So it's just going to grab all that liquidity. And then in the meantime, you have people that are short here, people that are starting to get short here, starting to get short here, starting to get short here. So these guys are going to buy. And they're going to cause panic between everybody over here on the way down. And then there are guys here that still have not gotten out of their trades. So these guys are going to start panicking. And that's why it's very rare to get a V-shaped reversal. Like I said, when you get this V-shaped reversal, you have this massive structure, a lot of volume here, and you get this V reversal that's coming down fast, you got to go short. You got to go short because everybody is panicking. All the buyers here are just fucking panicking, and this goes down like that. All right, let's see what's happening here. Yep, Nasdaq is stronger today. No doubt about it. Nasdaq is stronger today. Oh man, I really wish my drawing tool was actually working or was showing for you guys. I drew all of this around everything. That's a bummer. But let's analyze real quick why this breakout wasn't enough and why this breakout was. So I actually did make the mistake of adding to this breakout over here, but I didn't get out of my trade because I didn't see what I wanted to see for a full capitulation down. And then this breakout was a much better structure. So this was a fake out, but it looked like it was an actual breakout. Let's analyze why. It was around here, I think. Yeah. Let me just draw it real quick. This was this candle right here. So you wanna break out, and this is the structure that you want to see on a breakout. Low volume and a P-shaped profile over here. That's the structure you want, kind of like a P, right? But this didn't look like a true P-shaped profile. If you look at it, it was nice, it was good, but I made the mistake of not getting out once we broke this line. I made the like when you see this volume node, you can think of two things, right? You can think of, okay, this is absorption, right? This is good for another leg up, and it is good for another leg up. But then we curled back down, came back up, and then we made a break over here again. That should have been my last line in the sand. That should have said, I should have said right here, no, this trade did not work out. But everything else here was fine, but it wasn't a true P, right? It was one of those iffy P's, right? You got this little bit of you have some volume down here, and this was not enough. Like, this was not enough of a straight up, you know? It was a very short, low volume area, and then you get this fucking half-ass P. It's not really a P, you know? So that was bad to add on to that breakout. And then what ended up happening was that we started building volume, not on the way up, but on the way down. Volume here, rotate. We rotated on low volume, you know? That's not nice to see that. This could be considered as a squeeze or a trap, right? Because when you rotate back up on low volume, come back down, now you generate some volume, and two things could happen when you generate this type of volume. All right, you're generating this volume over here. What you want to see is a continuation down that will tell you that we're bearish, or a continuation up. Duh, obviously, no shit, right? But my point is that, like, when you get this volume and you see a continuation down, that's a good sign. When you get this volume and you see a continuation up, that's a good sign for to go along, right? And that's exactly what happened. What happened was that we curled down a little bit. We also had the support here, right? Don't forget, this was a long range that we created, right? Let me delete this. I know it's a bit messy, sorry. You see how long this was built? From here, from 945. A lot of two-way action is here. And you got to recognize when this two-way action occurs. You create a box, you extend that box, and then you can have a lot of information around this two-way action, around this range between 52 and 79. It might not be the most accurate. It could be 80, 81, whatever. It's fine. But once you establish that rotation early on, just try to create a box and then try to extend that box, because you got, like I said, you got a lot of two-way action. Look at how much reaction is happening on the midpoint, the lows, the highs, right? What does it tell you when we break out of this box and we come back down, right? It tells you that everybody's trapped here and there's a really high probability of us breaking lower, right? At the very least, you can trade the breakout of the box. At the very least, you can go short here, get out here, right? You can put on maybe 10 contracts here, take out some here, take out some here, leave the rest for scratch. There's so many things you can do. But anyway, what happened here? And I was talking about this and I even drew this out, but now that I know my pen is working, I can draw it. You created this volume, and what ended up happening was price just shot up. Price shot up. And it was around this level where I said this is a fake This is a fake rally. It was around these levels here. That is a fake rally. Why? Because at that time that this whole candle was forming, um, it was on very low volume. It was essentially volume like this. 52, 40, 20. There was really nothing to this move. But then we started building a lot of volume. And that's when I said, this is what I like to see. You like to see that volume happen, right? Because then there's interest. There's no interest to trade down here. But as we curl back up, there's interest to trade up here. Make it higher here. Come back down. No interest to trade below. Look at the low volume here. There's just no interest to continue lower. And then you get to shoot up. Again, you get that P. This is a much better structure. Low volume, right? A lot of stops being triggered. And then you get a P. And then you get a P. And then what do you get when you get that P? You get volume building here. No volume here. And then you shoot up again. And then you get a P. You see? And now look, we're coming off, we're selling off here, right? Because this volume could not have been sustained at the higher prices. It could not have been sustained at higher prices. This was nice to see, another P, but after this P, you want to see it go up. You absolutely want to see it go up. Now, food for thought. Let's take a bigger view. You can say that this is that line in the sand, and building volume anywhere around here is a-okay for bulls. Because this could be a much bigger P, right? This is a bigger P on a larger level, right? Because everything that we're doing is we're doing it on a smaller time frame. We're just looking at one candle. But if you want to look at the bigger picture, this can be just one big P. So on that logic, do you think this is bearish, or could this still be considered bullish? Right? Again, this could be just one massive P. We're building all this volume around here, all this volume around here to shoot higher. Totally possible. Look at the difference between this breakout and then this breakout. Some volume, right? But we weren't able to establish volume over here, right? We started establishing volume down here and then more down here. That's not what you want to see. You want to see us establish volume up there, which is kind of what we did. You see, there's volume here, more volume here on that same level, some volume here, curl down a little bit, some volume here, but that's still acceptable, right? This is the line. And then as we curl down, we didn't build that much volume. We just didn't build that much volume. It's a bit of volume, but it's all relative. How much volume is it relative to this? Not much. There's a lot of volume relative to this. This is a lot of volume relative to this. So these are the kind of nuances when you're analyzing breakout trades using a footprint, using volume profile. And now we've just established a much greater range. This is not a tight range anymore. This is between 535 and I would say here, 495. Yeah. So if you want to buy, you buy around here. You want to sell, you sell around here. You have a very tight stop. This midpoint's going to cause a lot of reaction to it. So you can sell, go for breakout. When you break this midpoint, you can use it as a support to continue higher. A lot of things you can do. This is just one big P. Do you guys see it? From here all the way to here. That's one big P. The volume down here relative to the volume that's being built up here could be low volume relative to this. It's just one big P. What time was this at? 10:30? This is 10:30. From this low? Was it from this low? Yeah. Let's say 4K, 5K, 5K, around 15K to the volume that's being built here. Maybe 20K, 20, 21K, 22K volume. You'd be building more volume. But you see what I said earlier? How V-shaped reversals with a structure like this is very rare, simply because of the amount of liquidity that's down here, right? The amount of liquidity that you guys have down here. V-shaped reversals are rare, simply because you have a lot of buyers, because you have a lot of sellers. You have a lot of sellers here, you have a lot of sellers here, you have a lot of sellers everywhere. So as price comes down, these sellers need to buy to get out of their trade, because some people are smart. Some people know that price is not going to come down. Like, some people know that that's it. Their trade is wrong and they just want to get out at scratch, or they want to minimize their loss, and so they need to buy to come back up, right? So if you want to be a seller here, and if you're hoping for price to come back down to this area, what you need to see, what you really need to see, I want to remove this. Too much shit on the screen. You need to see bounces. One bounce, 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 bounce. That's what you need to see. Because guys who are stuck here, they bought. Guys who are stuck here, again, they bought on the second time around. Guys who are stuck here, they will buy on the third time around. And then on maybe the fourth, the fifth, or maybe even the third or the second, right? on that time around, do you think the guys who are stuck here are stuck anymore? Probably not, right? Why do they need to buy? They're not stuck anymore. They already got out of their trades, so there's no buyers to come back on the way down. So you don't. That's why you want to see some bounces, 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 and then you can see it come back down, capitulate. The failure to make a new high, you can come back down and capitulate. I hope it's making sense. Now as we make new highs, these guys down here realize that their price is never going to get filled, and they're going to panic buy. Right? So you've created structure. You've created this structure here. Now you've created this structure here. And you're probably going to end up creating more structure on the way up. You know? So now if we see this sort of up here, back down here, then this structure becomes very vulnerable. That's order flow, that's price action, and your opinions, your analysis can change 100 times in one day because you don't know what's going to happen next, but you know what's happening now, and based on what's happening now, you can take a guess about what should happen next. So if X happens, Y should happen. If X doesn't happen, then Y should happen. You know, these are the types of scenarios that you got to build in your head and the types of analysis that you have to do to take more accurate trades. So as Nasdaq pushes higher, you might want to take a breakout trade on the ES because you know that Nasdaq has been leading today. It's been the stronger one out of the two today. So as Nasdaq goes higher, maybe ES might look to Nasdaq to want to push higher. But you also have structure on from yesterday, right? So there's just so much to go through. That's why markets are never linear. Markets never go like this, or like back down, right? There's always that bit of a doot, doot, comes back down, down, down. You see, because of this structure here, because of this here. Always look left. Always, always, always look left. And create a story. Try to find an understanding of who's trapped, who's not, who's going to take profit. But you can see the drawings now, though. Awesome. The audio's a bit weird, isn't it? I need to fix this, man. I think some days it's good, some days it's not. Was it raspy earlier? Weird. Okay. Early day for me today. I made the money. I'm out. This was good structure too. I could have bought here, but the more I trade, the worse, the more errors I make. So I learned very, very later on in my trading journey to just stop it when you're up. I think I took 2 trades today, actually. No over trading. Things were good today. Nope. 4 trades. 4 flat to flat trades. Yeah. Four trades, $800. Not too bad. It's been a decent week. I feel like this is definitely going to shoot up. I don't know. This just seems strong for some reason. Like this is a classic uptrend. This has legs to it. What you want to see, you don't want to see this test these trend lines too many times though. The more it tests, the weaker it becomes. So I predict it goes up like this. I'm serious. I predict we just literally shoot up. This is turning out to be one big P shape. On a larger time frame, you know, like this, and then a big P, and we just keep building volume higher and higher. This is really, really good for bulls. My call options on TQQ are probably doing very well right now. Yeah, look at the structure right here. This is really, I like seeing this. I like seeing, oh, this is perfect. I like seeing this selling down here. And then for it to go back up. You know, this is a lot of volume, man. If you think about it, like this is where buyers are bringing their liquidity higher and higher and higher and higher, and sellers who are selling into this are not able to drive it down. This is aggressive selling, but it could also be seen as passive buying right here. So you love to see this. You love to see that passive buying turn into aggressive buying simply because the sellers are getting stopped out. And then you're going to have a bit more. You're going to have more like aggressive selling that's being absorbed that will turn into passive buying. I see this all the time. Well, all the time on trend days. All the time on trend days where you're not giving anybody a chance to get in and there's very little pullback. This looks like a structure where there's going to be very little pullback. It's just one big squeeze up. This is like, it looks exactly like this. Like up, a bit down, up, a bit down, up, a bit down, up, a bit down. Yeah, you have this high that wants to be broken. That's an overnight high though. And then you have this structure that it needs to go through, you know? Between 544, 580, you know? It can grind very little. It can shoot up, grind, shoot up, grind. Yeah, this is not coming back down. I'm sorry. Don't be fooled by how slow this is going up. Don't be fooled by it. Don't think that you can fade this market because it looks tired. So it's very easy to put orders here. No, don't do that. The fact that it's going up slowly on volume, that's a very, very, very strong sign. Be careful fading this market. If you're going to fade this market, don't look more than 10 points or 15 points. And your stops have to be very, very tight. But don't fade. I personally wouldn't fade this market. I would wait for a small pullback of 10, 15 points, and then I would just wait for it to break another 20, 25 points. I think that seems to be the theme right now. Yep, now ES is just shooting up. Nasdaq's going to follow. We're going to 14K. All right, I'm calling it for today, guys. Thank you so much to whomever joined. I think it was just Hefe, but still, I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck. See ya, man.